evening to all of you. We are all getting bored from morning 10 o'clock, I think. So it's a very day-long session. It's going on, still not coming to an end. So with a lot of data and finance, so much discussion on the topic, and we might be getting bored or getting dull, something like that. Anyway, before, I think after my session, there is only one speaker is left out, so you can be happy. I came at the penultimate session. Thank you very much for inviting me to this IBN 25 Business Conclave. First of all, I thank its founder, Mr.R.selvam and Dr.R.selvam, Broadline Technologies, as one of the speakers for this program. This business conclave we are discussing today, actually, if you look at our history, especially from history from Tamil Nadu, it's not new to us. Even if you look at the 2000 years old, our history, starting from, I'll give small introduction of how this business, trade or commerce is ingrained into our blood. So if you take 2000 years back, when Pumbuhar was one of the major port for Chola's period in 2nd and 3rd century, where export and import happened. And if you look at the Sangam literature, you can see how much commodities exported or imported. That is starting from there. And 1000 years back, there was a powerful group in the Chola's Empire. Chola's Empire, it is purely the 500 Merchant Association, which ran the total administration, you can say, as far as business and trades are concerned. Actually, in fact, in the Chola's administration, the 500 Guild, that is the Merchant Association, which, in fact, they led the many expeditions throughout the world, and Southeast Asia, even through today, Malaysia or Vietnam or Cambodia or Indonesia, even they went up to China. Even if you go and see in China today, that still the temples are there, inscriptions are there. So this is how our blood is. We are ancient to the trade and commerce. Trade and commerce is not new to us. When you are talking about next generation business, we should know about our history, how our trade and commerce started. So that's why I want to tell all these things. Anyway, thank you very much for all the participants today, the innovators, young minds, or next generation business leaders. I'm really delighted to join this meeting. And also now the business growth or the transformation which is happening in the last 10 years or 20 years in our own generation, it is very, very fast. If you look back even 1990, so 1990, we were standing on the queue for making telephone calls. That time we never imagined there would be internet or all these social media platforms. So it changed within our generation. Changed the last 10 years also. Look back at 10 years back, how our thinking was there, how our visualization about the business happened. It was there. Now it is changing very fast. The generation gap is going fast, and the transformation also going at very fast pace. That is how the business is transforming throughout the world. With one is three major changes. One is a technological revolution. Technological revolution is very, very major, happening at a faster pace. Technological revolution. Second one is a geopolitical realignment that is happening right now. Third is reimagining of how the value should be created and how the value should be shared. That is whatever wealth you are going to create, and how it should be created and how it should be shared with all the people. This is the issue. So look at India right now. India is at the promising space. You can say you all know that one. So India has been, you can say, primarily agriculture economy. Still agriculture economy, around 60% of population still depends on agriculture. But the transformation from agriculture to non-agriculture, it is either manufacturing sector or service sector, that is service powerhouse. It is happening very fast with the advancement of technological revolution. That is what is happening right now. So you can take at least 100 top unicorns. They are addressing global problem from India. That is how it is emerging. Also, some of the green shoots, I'll talk about India. So India, I don't know whether they already spoke about this one or not. India is the third fastest growing economy. So our GDP is 4.27 trillion US dollar with a GDP growth of 6.4 as per the IMF projections. International Monetary Fund projection is 6.4. So that is a growth rate, and this also if you look at the FDI flow into India last 2 decades, foreign direct investment, it is nearly 1 trillion US dollar what we received as a foreign direct investment in all manufacturing and service sector and everything. And the next major factor why the entire globe is looking at India, that is major issue. India is the country which will grow when compared to all other parts of the world. So the reason is the private final consumption expenditure. That is a consumption expenditure that is very, very high in India. When compared to many other countries, India's personal consumption expenditure is very high. If you look at the CAGR growth rate of personal consumption, it is 11%. So no other country in the world it is growing at this rate. So last 10 years, our consumption expenditure growth is 11%. That is a major reason why many foreign countries, they are coming to India, they want to invest in India. So India will become the second largest consumer market by 2030. So today, whatever you are thinking, whatever you are going to execute, whatever you are planning, that another 5 years, you can get the benefit out of whatever your dreams you are thinking or seeds you are going to sow today. So by that 2030, our consumption would be around 4.3 billion US dollar. So that is our projection based on that various data. And of course, you know that infrastructural growth. So infrastructure growth also is growing at a phenomenal rate. It's the highest road and rail network connectivity or airport connectivity or seaport connectivity. It is going at a faster pace. And we have 1.46 lakh kilometers road length in India, which is the highest in any other part of the world. And other issue that the entire world is talking about, if you go to Europe or Western country or Southeast Asia, they are talking about sustainability. That is another issue we are talking. And sustainability also, it's a very, very important factor that our power generation or sustainability, how government is addressing. That is, we are going massively for solar power generation and wind power generation and biomass production also. Actually, 22% of our power generation is from non-renewable renewable energy sources. So that is in 2014 it was 2.8 gigawatt. It came from the solar energy. Today it is 100 gigawatt. Our solar energy production, and 2030 we will be achieving 500 gigawatt. That is our sustainability front, how we are going that way. Even wind power generation also going at faster pace. That is how India is going at faster rate. And with the electrical mobility and green energy, hydrogen energy, and afforestation, our commitment to achieve zero carbon emission by 2070 is achievable. That is what we are planning. That is how government, all the state government of India is targeting, and they are working on it. That is, there is a commitment to reduce 1 billion ton of carbon by 2030. These are the promising things. And of course, as a businessman, you all look into the ease of doing business. Ease of doing business, if I'm not wrong, at least some of you already might have experience. That is, we are in the 63rd rank in the global ranking out of 130 countries. But right now we can access at least 645 central government approvals and 6,130 approvals through online, through a single window system. That is how ease of doing business is done. Even the turnaround time in the port also, it has been reduced substantially, whether export or import. From 90 hours, it has been brought down to 26 or 30 hours for import, and export also it is 14 hours. And there is also a AEO, Automatic Exporter Certification Program, in that without any hindrance, you can export or import. That is how it is happening. And we are no longer the participants of global economy. We are the global architect. We are architect for global business and business, trade and commerce. That is how it is happening. And also unified payment interface. And the National Payment Corporation of India, 7 billion transaction happens per month. So under UPI, we transact 7 billion times, which is highest in the entire world. It's higher than China and the USA. So this is, and also many would have spoken about this also, that startup ecosystem, even the predecessors, they spoke about startup ecosystem. The SaaS, software as a service, that is renting the software, business. It is India is emerging as the best destination. Even there is a target to achieve 100 billion by 2030. So 100 billion by it is a big challenge to Silicon Valley. That is how the India is emerging in a very big way. So if you look at the GDP growth, consumption expenditure, infrastructure, sustainability, or any other front, India is emerging in a very, very big way. You are all in the right time and right opportunities are there. So you can, if you sow any seed or any dream, if you have in your mind, this is the right time to enter into the business. So anyway, this is one side of the story. Other side of the story, what are the problems we are facing at the same time? We should not become complacent because there are so many green shoots which are there. So we should not become complacent because other side of the story also, India that as a business leaders where you should focus or what you should address. That is, one is a growing regional disparity. That is a major issue what we need to address that one. Out of 788 districts in India, only 13 districts contribute for 50% of GDP. That is a major concern for India is concerned. So there is a growing regional disparity. And also GDP per capita, if you look at India level, Telangana, it is nearly $3,811 per year, whereas Bihar, it is for $652 per capita annual income. So the disparity is growing. This is the area where the business leaders or young entrepreneur innovators, you should concentrate. That is one is a regional disparity and personal income also. And also, if you look at internal migration, the internal migration is a major factor. Nearly 200 million people, they migrate from north and east parts of India to west and south. So that internal migration is coming on for want of health, education, and employment, all those things. This is the area you have to go and concentrate. If you want to start a business, you have to look at the proper place, how to start the business, where to start, all those things. That is, internal migration is a major issue. And also wealth concentration, if you take the wealth concentration, wealth also concentrating, it's a global phenomenon. But still in India also it is a major problem. Nearly 60% of wealth is with 10% of the population. At least 1% of the top earns nearly 53 lakhs annually, whereas 50% earns only 71,163 only. So there is a very big disparity on the personal income also. Though it is a global phenomenon, it is also increasing in India. These are the areas why I am talking about all these things, whether regional disparity or displacement or personal income disparity, all these things. This is area where you can structure some mechanism or you can try to address these issues. And also productivity challenges. Yes, still there is a skilling gaps are there, still the productivity challenges are there. If you compare many other countries, what is our productivity? Our laborers are 1/10 of what US laborers. So it is on many sectors we cannot compare, at least some of the sectors, that is what is our challenges. These are the challenges. One side is India is giving lots of promising figures, and other side we have the problem of other side of India also. The problems or challenges is an opportunity for you. That is where you have to concentrate. And also as a leader, responsibility leader, what you should take responsibility, whether it's a health issue or educational issue or financial inclusivity or connecting rural-urban divide. And also this rural-urban divide and other infrastructure bottlenecks, these are not challenges. These are not only a social issues. What my concern is, this is also an opportunity for a business leader. These are the opportunities where you can explore or you can invest. We can get lot of changes. So we can say some of the examples from the global country, other foreign countries also. Once upon a time when South Korea got independence in 1948, so it was one of the poor countries, South Korea, North Korea. But today South Korea grown phenomenally, extremely well. The reason is it's a technological driven country. That Hyundai and Samsung, they totally changed. They did not change the country, they did not change themselves, they changed the entire country. That is how it happened like that. So this is opportunity. When you talk about opportunity, and also responsibility comes with you to make India great again, something like that. My suggestion is only 3-4 points I'll tell and complete my talk. One is you run behind technology. The technology will take you to the the world, not only to address the problems of India or the place where you are coming from, starting from district or state or the entire India, only the technological, because you are dealing with a technology-driven society. That is our Z generation. You are dealing with the Z generation, Z plus generation. It's all technological community. You have to deal with the technological-driven community. I just, how technology changed the world. I'll tell a small story. You all would have heard about, I'm coming from leather and footwear sector. You all would have heard about the Nike footwear. Nike footwear, that if you happen to read Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, this who the founder of Nike, he started, he's a Stanford graduate, he started his business at 1960, getting $50 from his father. Actually, when they talked, my predecessor spoke about the micro, small, medium sector, but in India, actually, the grandfather was the micro sector and the father also micro sector, and we are also in the micro sector. That is, we should not continue like that. So your grandfather was in the micro sector, at least by this time you would have become a big player. So something is missing, somewhere is missing. That is where you need to find out. So actually, Phil Knight started at 1960. Actually, he went to Japan to get the shoes from there, and he sold the shoes. He sold the shoes in the running tracks for small profit. So what happened after 1970? So the Onitsuka tiger, that is a shoe he used to buy from Japan and used to sell in America. The Onitsuka tiger, they stopped, they cut down the supply. They did not want to supply to Phil Knight. So what happened? Then he started to innovate. The innovation is thank you. I'll take another 2-3 minutes, so time is running up. Innovation is very cornerstone for anything. That's why I want to tell the story. So in 1970, they cut down. He started to innovate, and his company went bankruptcy for several times. And 1986, he signed an agreement with Jordan. Michael Jordan, therefore $250,000. That was a huge amount in 1986. Nobody was agreeing for that one. He invested that amount. Then it became a $1 billion company. Today, with 79,000 employees throughout the world, it is 44 billion turnover per year. Its market capex is around $150 billion. That is one company, that is Nike company. So what he says is, you go with the innovations. So, and his idea is actually run the business. What we think, always there is a conflict between the purpose and the profit. So here you have to define your purpose. What is your purpose? So that is a purpose. He wanted to make the people run. He did not want to earn the profit out of Nike shoe. He wanted to see people running. That is how it made him made a big businessman, something like that. So there are several stories like that. So always you go run behind the technology that is even per year they are manufacturing minimum 5 lakh designs for Nike shoe throughout the world. It's a, if you look the footwear, we are buying at 8,000. Actually, in Cheyyar only near Kanjipuram, Cheyyar only we are manufacturing. There is a Nike factory which employs around 25,000 people. Out of 25,000, 23,000 are women. And they manufacture around 800 to 1,000 rupees. But what we are buying is 12 to 15,000 rupees. So what we are paying for the brand and other things. But they conduct minimum 90 tests before the product comes out. So what I want to say, one side they are addressing the socio-economic issues. There are out of 25,000, they are employing 23,000 people when they are empowering the woman. If you look at any industry, you look at the purpose. When they are empowering women, the next generation become socially and economically very, very big, because the amount given to the woman, it is totally going for education and health, not for any other things. If you employ, that is the beauty of this footwear and leather industry. So footwear and leather industry in India, it employs more than 45% women. So that when they are giving the money to the woman, that is going for health and education, it's major social transformation. That is how the entire world change. When the health and education changes, the next generation will go for the high-tech industry. So you can't simply transform from agriculture economy to the high-tech industry unless you go through the transition like that. So this is one, and I can tell the story of e-residency program of Estonia. Estonia, that is e-residency program, is doing well. More than 170 countries, they are participating in that one. There is no need to go and register. E-residency program Estonia, kindly go through it. How they totally transformed it. And also there are, if you take India, I tell the area where you can concentrate. We have 200 million farmers, starting from the soil moisture content, crop production, productivity, pesticide management, or price determination or distribution. All these are the areas you can concentrate. There is a very big vacuum. With the advancement of AI and technology, you can do it. The same thing, health system. We have a huge population, 1.4 billion population. When you think of some disease or some issue, you can create something new which address our 1.4 billion population health issue also. Then financial inclusivity. We should not leave any population outside. And also, then the major issue is Rwanda, which came from the ashes. Rwanda is a African country. So they deliver the medicine each and every house within an hour through drone technology. Why can't you deliver the same thing for agriculture inputs or medicine, something like that? Just to come with some new ideas so you can start small and you can grow big. There is an opportunity for that one. There are 63 million MSMEs in India. That is already we discussed about this one. So, and by 2030, many of the jobs what we are doing will be obsolete. So all physical works will be replaced by AI or auto. It will be automated. Everything. There will be a very big transformation. Even capital also already they discussed how to generate capital or venture capital funds, all those things, and also startup. Yeah, I had a session on startup, and ultimately the final one is simplification and formalization. That is a major problem for India. Simplification and formalization, because many industrialists, they employ the laborers, but they are not formalized. They are not brought into account all those things. That is the area we need to concentrate. With this talk, I will conclude my talk. Thank you very much for the opportunity. If you have any doubts on footwear and leather,